What are you doing now?
Oh, I have an Instagram now. I'm gonna become an influenza.
You mean influencer?
No, she was right the first time.
Usually at this point in my videos, I like to sprinkle in little tidbits about the cast and crew or about the making of this movie. But there is damn near nothing about this movie's production anywhere online. And nobody involved in this movie has done pretty much anything except for the director/writer. The craziest thing is, it wasn't until I was editing and went to get some footage of the DVD when I realized there was information on the production of the movie, alright, just not online. It was actually in a little booklet that came with the DVD, and boy do you want to hear how the universe desperately tried to stop the production of this movie. Dark Harvest was shot over the course of 2.5 weeks in the state of West Virginia. When we arrived, the corn was high and the temperature was higher. Armed with a 30-year-old camera, the little money we had scraped together, and the world's most enthusiastic crew, we set out to make our movie. There was a host of problems that will most certainly plague any independent production. It was the unusual problems that threw us. Did I say unusual? I mean bizarre. We were using a small cemetery for several of the scenes. We left one night only to return and find that someone had set fire to it. All that was left was scorched earth and a charred ruin remains. Our answer? Rewrites. Later in the production, we were burgled. Was it our expensive lights or camera support equipment? No, it was the entire contents of Elijah's barn. A truckload of perfectly useless junk used to dress the set had vanished. Once again, rewrites. Last of all, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the crickets. I never saw one, but they were so loud that the actors' lines were lost in the insects' cacophony. When they quit, the birds started. More rewrites. In the end, we prevailed, thanks largely in part to our dedicated cast and crew. The experience was a trial by fire, a baptism into the world of independent filmmaking that almost drowned us. When I look back, grueling, exhausting, and maddening are all the words that come to mind. It was the most brutal experience of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Until next time. You know, I actually love it when I buy DVDs off of eBay and it turns out that they're old rentals. I wish old rentals came with, like, you know how old library books used to have those little slips the librarians would timestamp and you could see how many people rented it before you? Now, I'm not a betting man, but I'm willing to wager that there were a lot of disappointed horror fans who rented this out.
My friends, I have been on a journey of husbandry.
Did I put in a documentary by accident? Yeah, this opening we're listening to is Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, referring to a severe heat wave that happened smack dab in the middle of the Great Depression and Dust Bowl in 1936. It killed about 5,000 people and left others in financial ruin. So, you know, great setup for your killer scarecrow movie. And I must not be up on my U.S. states because I've never heard of West Virginia. Oh no. You know, whenever low-budget horror movies try to make a period piece, it almost never works out. Well, that was awkward.
You know, you got the boys down at Willie's plum stuff. I mean, every farm within a 10-county area producing nothing but hard-baked clay.
Either that's a dude up there or production didn't feel like stuffing hay into clothing, so they made the best boy stand up there.
Carry it around, Elijah. What for? Well, you know Miss Wheeler down at the Delbert store. She swore she saw Karen last night, crying and hysterical.
Oh, please, as if a man in the 30s cared about the well-being of a woman.
I got nothing to hide. Didn't say you did.
Did nobody tell the scarecrow that they were filming? The sheriff, and I'm assuming a deputy, look around and the sheriff immediately finds the body used as a scarecrow because... duh.
Right!
Huh, weird. Even though I didn't walk very far at all between shots, I couldn't hear you call my name. Elijah, this probably could have been all avoided if you would have just hidden your scarecrow sacrifices just a little bit better. We get it. He's dead. Move on. Oh, this is edited? Is it really, Sean? After the credits that last short of forever, we meet the main character Sean meeting with an attorney regarding an inheritance left to him by his biological father. Hi, director and boom mic guy.
It's a farmhouse located on 25 acres of land in Carson County, West Virginia. Both the farm and the barn are in good condition. No one's lived there since the late 1930s.
Then how is the farm in good condition? You can't just leave a property for 80 years without any upkeep and have it be in pristine condition. The attorney suggests Sean goes up to the property to see if it's something that he wants, and before he leaves, he asks the attorney about his biological mom.
I'm afraid she's dead, Mr. Connell. She died due to complications during your delivery.
Jeez, what's with all this heavy shit? I'm used to awkward dialogue and standing around unnaturally in my scarecrow movies.
Well, it was great seeing you again.
It was great seeing you too.
Ah, there it is. At least it got there eventually.
Well, better yet, why don't you call me when you're ready to join the rest of us working stiffs?
I don't think the world needs another .com, Justin.
Well, that's a shame, because there's always something at the bottom of the barrel.
Don't worry, Justin, I remember.
I have never understood why characters who are supposed to be friends in movies are written this way. And it wasn't just low-budget horror movies either. Big-budget horror movies did the same shit. If you hate each other so much, why hang out with one another? It's the easiest thing in the world not to hang out with somebody. Look, I'll show you. I'll do it right now.
I cannot believe you used to date him.
I can't believe you used to date her.
That makes even less sense.
Well, what about this house? We should go up there.
Why?
Because it would be an adventure. That stuff we had when we first started dating.
I thought that was sex.
My God, that has got to be the blandest sex ever. Like rice pudding bland. Like Jeff Dunham comedy special bland. Jessica argues that they should go up to the farm and bring friends, to which Sean argues that he doesn't want certain people invited, and the entire scene is filmed in one angle, in one shot, and usually I'd be impressed, but the dialogue is so goddamn boring, I found myself having to go back and rewatch it multiple times because my mind stopped paying attention. So finally, these chuckleheads hit the road and we get to meet their awful friends.
He's gonna get that gallery opening and it is just eating you up. He doesn't deserve it. Why don't you sleep with one of your professors? They look like randy old purrs. I can't.
Why's that?
Langford beat me to it.
You know, I'm not an expert on accents, but that sounds fake to me.
Alex! Don't forget the limes this time.
What part of you thinks that this tiny little convenience store in the middle of nowhere that you refer to as a piece of shit like maybe a sentence ago will have any fruit, let alone limes?
Can I use the bathroom now?
Okay. Yeah. Round the corner there.
Thank you. Crazy ass crap.
Next to not being able to write likable characters or believable friends, a lot of these older horror movies could not write black people for shit. It almost always fell back on this aggressive stereotype, and it's so fucking lazy and insulting.
7 miles up this way, and then another 3 or 4 over there.
What's the address?
Place doesn't have one.
What? If there's a deed, there's an address attached to it, right? Of course, I don't know how it worked in the US in the 30s, but usually if there's property built on the land, the government already assigned it an address. Sean goes into the store to ask for directions to the Baker farm, to which the store owner warns against it, saying the place isn't right.
Is that your girlfriend?
Oh, no, sir. Mine's outside.
We're women and not possessions.
Bitch, he didn't call his girlfriend property, nor did he insinuate that. She's also needlessly rude to the shopkeeper for having the audacity to be worried about their safety. I mean, sure, he's referring to something supernatural, but I would think he was more worried about walking around a property made of wood that's been abandoned for longer than I've been alive. At least he gets that zinger in before she leaves.
My doll?
Hey, she didn't pay for that bread! So finally, the douche brigade make it to the old Baker farm. No, not that one. For God, do I wish.
Well, it's charming.
I've always wanted to see where Leatherface grew up. This is the first time we hear what the main character's first name was, by the way. Hell, we learned the ex-boyfriend's name who we never see again before Sean's name is revealed.
So guys, should we head inside and see if this gets better or worse?
No, we drove 8 hours just to stand in front of the farmhouse. Wow, Elijah was really into mint green paint back then, huh? You think it would be covered in wallpaper since that was huge at the time and he was the only farmer not suffering.
It is ripe in here.
Yeah, who would have thought that a farmhouse that's been uninhabited since 1936 would be kind of gross?
I take it there's no power.
Gee, what tipped you off? Fucking people.
Notice anything? What? No fridge. No water. So?
Where did these morons think they were going? If someone invited me to go to an old farmhouse that hadn't been inhabited in years, first I'd think, it's finally happened, somebody is trying to kill me. And second, oh, there's definitely not going to be running water or electricity. Oh, absolutely not. These rocket scientists apparently think that they were going to a 5-star hotel, complete with a pool. And they're supposed to be here for a week?
I am gonna go open up some windows and air this place out.
I'm gonna go check out the bedrooms. You guys go give Brian and Alex a hand.
Perfect line delivery. No second takes. Oh, are the bedrooms outside, Sean, or did you get lost between the 2 rooms?
They are kind of creepy, aren't they?
I mean, in a muffin top Hank Hill kind of way. Sure. That night, the group partakes in weed, beer, and pizza. Did they go get the pizza in town, or did they force a poor pizza boy to bring it to them? Oh wait, this place magically doesn't have an address. How silly of me.
Like didn't like our kind.
That's not true, Alex. I just don't like you.
Must be because mine's bigger.
Why did they invite this chick, especially if all she's gonna do is antagonize the main character? You know, the guy who owns the property she's currently standing in?
All the ice has melted. If we don't get some more, we're not gonna have anything to eat by morning.
I'll do it.
Are you sure?
Hey, I'm the host. One for the road?
That great idea, getting drunk and baked before driving down an unfamiliar road that's probably also not lit. What could possibly go wrong? Sean rolls up to an obviously closed store and is surprised that it's closed.
Evening. Cyrus closed early tonight. He'll be back in the morning.
Thank you.
Margaret Anderson, but my friends call me Maggie.
Well, thank you, Maggie.
Don't mind the latex coming off my face, boy. Maggie gives exposition about Elijah being originally a good man before becoming hateful and mean when he lost his job during the Great Depression. Then suddenly, his crops mysteriously boomed despite everyone else's crops dying. I mean, it could have been a mystery and a nice reveal had it not been spelled out for us at the beginning of the movie.
Well, tomorrow night is the harvest moon. The blood moon.
Oh my god, the harvest moon is literally just a brighter moon. It was named that because farmers could work later into the night because of the brighter light. And it's completely unrelated to the blood moon.
Dead or alive, the son is responsible for his father's sins.
No. The father is responsible for the father's sins. Man, you are just full of incorrect information.
Hey, Maggie, how did you know my...
Oh my god, she disappeared for... Oh, never mind, she's in that chair. Sean teleports back to the farmhouse to make sure the scarecrow isn't a person before cutting his fingers on, nothing, and bleeds orange paint onto the dirt, which reignites the curse.
What are you looking at?
A dork who peaked in high school? Oh, who am I kidding? Nobody here ever graduated high school.
God damn it!
What is that?
Did she just ask what that sound was? You don't have to grow up on a farm to recognize a rooster's crow. You know, just saying.
Looks like we have ourselves a raven.
I think you mean rooster.
Rooster, raven, whatever.
Oh my god, we let these people drive cars.
Didn't you say there was a pond around here?
Better be. We need someplace to bathe.
Can you swim in it?
I don't know.
They all make plans to find this pond while Jessica, the girlfriend or fiance or whatever, leaves to retrieve ice and food to make lunch. Wow, that barn looks exactly the same from 1936. Impressive. Sean tells the story old Maggie told him to Brian, and shockingly, he doesn't believe him.
I already told you, I was probably tweaking.
Oh, you were definitely tweaking.
Tweaking is slang for a reaction you have to smoking meth.
One for the road?
Were they not smoking weed there?
Well, I thought you said this guy was crazy. I was hoping for some bodies or bloody chainsaws or something.
I mean, even if there were bodies left there, they would be bones or like a couple pieces of bones. You know, animals would find them. They climb to the second floor that's weirdly sturdy for being abandoned for like 80 years and find farming tools? That's terrifying.
Connell, in my wildest dreams, I never imagined you were related to anyone this cool.
Oh yeah, a guy who brought vagrants to his farm to murder them. Yeah, real cool Joe, super fun at parties.
You know what? This place isn't that bad.
I'm not so sure. I got a feeling.
What feeling?
I don't know. It's like we're being watched.
Oh, come on. Usually in movies, when a character feels that way, you see them look around pensively or act nervous when alone. This doofus just sleepwalks from scene to scene and now suddenly pulls this out of nowhere. I also love that delivery, just not a shred of emotion.
Finished?
All done.
Good. Let's go find the others. I could use a swim.
Ooh, yeah, let's swim in dirty, still water. You know, if the mosquitoes don't get you, the bacteria will.
Feels so good. Oh, I wish someone would come in this water with me.
Yeah, nice try. It sounds like you're trying to get your friends to try a gross piece of food by pretending it tastes good.
You have no idea how much better it is to date women than men. Ugh, my first boyfriend, terrible, horrible guy.
Oh, okay. Why? They seem to have been aware that there was a listeria pond on property, so why didn't they bring swimsuits? And, you know, I'm body positive and all, but I have never been close enough to friends to hang out naked around them.
But isn't it, like, weird being with a girl? No, not at all. It's totally comfortable. It's much more comfortable than being with a guy.
It's called being bi. Like, it's not a new thing. Like, Jesus, how do these people not dress themselves without an aid?
Hey, tall, dark, and handsome. You have until the count of 10 to get out of those clothes and enter the water.
I'm not the only one getting a venereal disease. Get in here. I mean, if they're lucky, that's all they'll catch in that water. Instead of swimming with his friends and being around boobies, Sean wanders off alone to check out where some random road goes. Meanwhile, Brian and Angela walk back to the farmhouse to get the cooler. I don't quite understand why they didn't just bring it with them in the first place.
There's something wrong. The scarecrows,
What about them?
they look closer.
I'll have to take your word for it because you've never shown us where the scarecrows are in relation to the house. Oh, and I guess the scarecrows moving by themselves is boring because they never bring it up again and it's immediately forgotten. Oh, did he not hear that? It was like that part of the soundtrack. The group decide to head back while Sean discovers a dead person has the same name as someone he recently met. It must mean she was a ghost. Back at the house, the group sit around complaining before Sean bursts into the house yelling that they have to leave without changing his facial expression.
Sean, look, we know this has been hard on you, but sit down, we'll talk.
Oh, Jesus. What's going on, man?
Honestly, how does he know what the missing scarecrow means? They walk out with Alex leading the way before she's impaled by one of the scarecrows and looks slightly irritated by it. Oh no, hey, we only had to wait until 49 minutes into the movie before the main antagonist got his ass up and did something. The scarecrow tries to get into the door but is thwarted by light smacks on its hand. Okay, did Sean the editor go on break here? Look, we all know what's gonna happen here, but lingering on this shot just telegraphs it even more.
The chair!
Ooh, Brian must have an insane pain tolerance because he did not react to that at all.
The chair!
Oh yeah, that'll keep out the supernatural scarecrows.
Brian, how do you feel, man?
What the fuck kind of question is that?
Alright, that was kind of funny. I'll give him that.
The old lady said they were after me. So I'll take off running towards the barn. Hopefully they'll follow me.
Oh yeah? They're only after you, Sean? Is that why they went around Alex and made a beeline to you and not stab her? Because they're only after you? Sean. Sean.
Sean, we're not going to leave you here alone.
All right. Anyone else have a better plan? It's settled then.
Wow, they did not push back very hard, did they? Oh no, Sean, you're irreplaceable. Who else can we get to deliver lines like they're half asleep? The dummies walk out to get the car keys off Alex's body, only to see that she's been dismembered and hung on a scarecrow pole. Because remember, you know, they're only after Sean, and they're forced to create a new plan.
Angela, you come with me. We'll get the keys from Alex's body.
But why, Sean? Actually, you know what? I'm dropping this British accent. No, I am not going with you.
They're not here.
What do you mean they're not here?
The keys, they're gone.
Guys, each time she's handed over the keys in the movie, they weren't on her person. They were in her bag or on the table. They spent the day at the pond. Why would she bring the only set of car keys to the pond where they could potentially get lost?
Look out!
They're after Sean, huh? That sounds like my girlfriend getting killed. Oh well, I guess I don't care. You know, when you make a horror movie with a monster antagonist, the most important part of the movie is the monster. If your monster isn't scary or menacing, your audience isn't going to be scared. I'll give you an example that I think works. The Friday 13th 2009 remake. The movie was awful, but Jason was an intimidating presence. He was large, violent, and just looked like someone you absolutely did not want to run into in the middle of nowhere. These guys would be laughed out of not scary farms. The three make it to the barn, locking the door, but instead of doing the obvious, like shutting the fuck up while looking for something to defend themselves with, they get into a bitch fight, which leads the scarecrow right to them. Nice work, guys.
The fuck has your boyfriend gotten us into? I don't know, but we've got to keep it together.
It's no wonder you guys are so easy to pick off. You never shut the hell up even when you're trying to hide. Man, I'm not even scared anymore. I'm just annoyed. This is taking forever. Man, I don't know how Sean the editor didn't get an award for that masterpiece. Sean runs back into the house to have a snit at a picture of Elijah. I guess he forgot Angela was with him, and then grabs a knife.
I'm gonna go find Angela and Sean.
You can't go out there. Those things will kill you.
I have to. We have to get the keys to the 4x4. If we stay here, Brian's gonna bleed to death before dawn.
I mean, you're in a spot they seem not to be able to get into, and maybe if you guys bothered to put pressure on his wound or at least wrap it, that might not be an immediate issue, so of course they don't do any of that.
Look, you and Brian go hide up in the hayloft. With any luck, they won't be able to climb the ladder.
The barn doors weren't locked. What the hell was that nonsense earlier? Well, maybe these scarecrows are too stupid to climb stairs if they didn't think to pull open a door.
Jesus, that is not a good idea.
Sorry, I just didn't want to make any more noise than I have to.
Where are the others?
Brian and Darcy are in the barn.
Angela?
I haven't seen her.
Maybe you should be asking Sean why he doesn't know where Angela is. He's the one that forced her to go with him to look for keys in Alex's torso.
Sean.
What? Angela.
Oh, I'm so sad she's dead. Now who in our group is gonna do the fake accent thing?
Maybe we should go back to the barn and get the others.
No. First we need to get the lights back on. Without power, we're sitting ducks.
The car doesn't run on the generator, Sean. I guess he means it's so they can see better, but that just means the killer scarecrows can too. You'd think that they'd rather be in the dark since they could be stealthy and hide in the shadows. I mean, we haven't seen the scarecrows have super night vision, so there's no reason to think they can see in the dark.
I want you to go back to the barn and get the others. Once you see the lights come back on, you bring them back here. We'll barricade ourselves inside and wait for sunrise.
So your plan is to turn on a loud generator, light up the area, have your girlfriend and Darcy drag a badly wounded Brian across the property, more than likely leaving a blood trail, and barricade yourself in a shitty little shack that looks like it's about to fall apart with the generator, basically letting the scarecrows know exactly where you are, and since the generator is loud, you won't be able to hear them coming, and oh yeah, don't generators kind of give off fumes you don't want to be inhaling? Just a fabulous plan all around.
Are you guys all right?
I wish people would stop asking stupid questions.
Brian, what are you doing in this movie?
We've got to hurry. Sean has a plan, but we've got...
Jessica!
Wow! Who would have thought that Sean's shitty plan that was absolutely going to backfire on them backfired on them? What a twist! Maybe you guys should be trying to barricade the way in or like arm yourselves while the scarecrows are busy chopping up your buddy. Nope, nothing. We're just gonna sit around looking bored. Alright. Wait, is Sean trying to hotwire a generator? Man, if only Sean had, I don't know, a lookout to see if the stupid scarecrows are gonna sneak up on him. Can't get up after being lightly shoved for some reason. Yeah, and keep in mind, 2 other people were killed by these stupid things.
A little fire, Scarecrow.
Get it? It's like the Wizard of Oz, 'cause you're a scarecrow. You're lucky my one weakness is door frames. I guess that was supposed to be the line of the movie, but Sean couldn't wake up or move his facial muscles to deliver it.
Darcy, I need you to listen. Darcy, you're gonna have to go get Sean.
You don't even know if Sean's alive.
If I go out there, they'll kill me.
Darcy, you're gonna have to go get Sean in the 4x4, then come back.
Now we're back to this. You must be delusional from blood loss because it's already been established nobody knows where the keys are. I'm with Darcy on this one. Despite Jessica obviously talking to them, the scarecrow never went up to the loft after killing her, so it seems to be safe, at least for now.
They don't want us. They want Sean. If we stay put, they'll leave us alone and...
That's why they killed Jessica and Alex and wounded Brian, because as established, they're only after Sean.
What should I do?
Go to the house. Find Sean. Tell him where we are.
He knows where you are, and you should know that. Jessica came back to the barn to tell you assholes about his great plan, as in she found Sean. She would have told him where you were. This movie is just infuriating with how stupid these characters are. I also find it hilarious Brian is putting his faith in Sean, a barely awake idiot whose plan has already gotten 3 people killed.
Should I tell him about Jessica?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not really invested one way or the other.
Darcy.
I didn't realize it was you despite seeing your very human hand and whole face before I held up the machete. It's also kind of funny that there's light in this house despite, you know, the generator being destroyed. Darcy breaks the news that Jessica was killed and Sean kind of reacts.
Jess, Alex, Angie.
Angela?
Come on.
Where are we going?
We're getting Brian and we're getting the fuck out of here.
Can you morons please remember what has happened the past 20 minutes of this movie? Wait, were there 3 scarecrows this whole time, or did they go get their cousin Jeb? Okay. Wait, she's alive? Oh, you've got to be Are those the car keys? Well, I guess if they weren't just handed the keys by plot convenience, we would just be watching these idiots make worse and worse plans before they were all picked off. Look at this. Someone left out their Spear Halloween decorations. Darcy leaves Sean to his gut staring and goes to get Brian, only to see his eyes are gouged out, I think, and she's attacked. Do you think the scarecrow buried himself in that hay, or do you have one of his buddies help him out? I almost forgot to mention, this whole time we keep cutting back to Angela power walking to... somewhere. She wasn't deep in the cornfield. She was strung up at the edge close to the house. So I don't know what the hell she thinks she's doing. What the hell is he doing? She's probably down the ladder and out the door while he's busy deciding on a weapon. I am really losing my patience with this fucking movie. No. How did he get up there without anybody noticing? The entrance to the loft was in between Darcy and the scarecrow, and we have not seen an alternate way up there. Well, damn. Either Sean has superhuman strength or this particular scarecrow is weak as shit. Sure glad the other scarecrow brought in the B squad. Wait, impaling his foot and his back ripped him in half at the torso? I mean, I think that's what happened. The editing is really bad here, so I'm really just guessing. And why does this thing have intestines?
What about Brian? Is he?
I shouldn't have left him.
You had to.
No. No, she fucking fucking didn't. She should have stayed with him and your stupid ass should have joined them because you knew where they were. Where is she going? Oh, the car. The car that was parked in front of the house earlier but teleported on the other side of the property. Good thing she knew where the thing was. Oh, and I guess the other scarecrow was just following her and waited until just now to attack?
Alex was killed and then all because...
Because of me! Go ahead, say it. Because of Weird Sean and his twisted, fucked up great-grandfather, your girlfriend is dead. Well, guess what? My fiance's dead too.
Yeah, and it is your fault. She is 100% correct, Sean. Every plan you made was a shitty one, and it got your friends and your girlfriend / fiance whatever killed. You don't get to play the victim here. You have no right to be angry. Jessica is dead, and it's because of your actions, asshole. Throwing a little temper tantrum for being called out doesn't make that fact any less correct.
At least you have the luxury of knowing you couldn't have stopped it.
That's not what I meant.
It doesn't matter. We all die.
I hate Sean so much. Just flames, flames, flames on the side of my face. Darcy and Sean hear a scream, so they gotta go investigate it.
Oh, I can't go in. Alex is... I can't.
Darcy, there's a chance that either Jessica or Angela is still alive in there. I can't ignore that.
It took me hours to watch this 1.5-hour movie the first time through and days the second time to write out a script and notes. It is damn near unwatchable. And why is the car now suddenly parked in front of the barn when Angela had to run through the cornfield to get to it?
That's how these things pick us off, alone. And that's the one way I don't want to die. Alone.
I want you to be horribly butchered with me instead of possibly surviving. Angela manages to hide from the last scarecrow before finding Sean, Darcy, and what's left of Jessica.
Jessica is dead, Sean. But the three of us are still alive.
The two of us are still alive. Well, I'm glad the character that actually showed any kind of badassery is just killed off a second time.
Which way?
You go to the farmhouse, I'm gonna go to the silo.
No, but you said we should stick together.
Look, there's only one of these things left now, and what they really want is me.
Sean, it has been shown multiple times that they are not after you. Like 90% of your friend group are dead. If it were, they wouldn't have bothered killing the others. They would have ignored them and went after you. But they didn't, did they? It's even proven not to be the case just a few seconds later when the scarecrow shows up, sees them both, and goes for Darcy. It takes Sean reciting a stupid, "It's me you want" speech before the scarecrow remembers, oh yeah, I was kind of pissed at Elijah and his bloodline.
So while he's off chasing me, you get to civilization and bring back the fucking cat.
This is another stupid plan because, as established, they don't know where the key to the car is. Angela did, but she never told them where she dropped it, and we were never shown that either of them saw the key on the ground. Yet she heads straight for the car and luckily sees the damn key on the ground. Are we really gonna do the whole car won't start thing on this too? Gee, just get every cliche in the book in this horror movie. Sean lures the scarecrow to the silo to blow them both up, which would make me happier than I've ever been. But of course, like all his other plans, it doesn't work and he's attacked, which is apparently more annoying than scary to him.
Who are you kidding? You don't even have a fucking nose.
What does this have to do with anything? And he does have a nose, well, a nose hole, but it's still there. Sean bails on this plan too and crawls out of the silo only to see Darcy with a flare gun.
You're blocking my shot.
Sean, you might want to run a little farther than that if the silo is filled with gas, or you know what, who cares?
My name isn't Baker. It's Connor.
Yeah, he can't hear you, Sean. I guess Sean couldn't stand to have Darcy have the badass kill the bad guy line, so he pulled this little wiener move. Oh, I'd like to point out, because I guess it's been forgotten, these scarecrows were victims of his ancestor. You'd think he'd have some perspective on that, but no. Just a lame one-liner.
What are you gonna tell the cops?
Truth?
And when that doesn't work?
Then we'll lie.
Oh yeah, because lying to the cops always goes well, right? Works even better when you change your story multiple times. And did you guys forget the scarecrow's bled and had internal organs? You could probably just say 3 masked lunatics attacked you and your friends and you defended yourselves.
Either way, one thing's for sure.
What's that?
selling this place.
Yeah, let's let some innocent person deal with the curse, because I have no remorse of being just as shitty as my ancestor I apparently hate. Ah, so this is where all the editing went. At the end. You know, out of all the movies that I've talked about on this channel, I think I can firmly say this was probably the worst one. It is so hard to sit through more than once. I found myself literally zoning out or starting to play on my phone before realizing, oh shit, I'm supposed to be writing notes for this movie. Nothing about it is remotely entertaining except for maybe the outtakes during the credits, since it really highlights that the production absolutely did not have anyone on set to know this was hella dangerous. The most amazing thing about this movie is the fact that nobody in the crew got third-degree burns and sent to the emergency room. I mean, at least it looked like they were having fun lighting shit on fire, so that's something, I suppose.
No, put it down, put it down, put it down, put it down, put it down. Okay.
And hey, this movie has 2 sequels. Yay.
They are kind of creepy, aren't they?
I tell you what,